I wanted to talk about my opinions on Wii Chess today. So yeah, I wanna be crucified! The Wii series, one of the most simple series ever. The sentence is over. It's so hard to find a series that is so based in just whatever the hell that it wants to be, and that is so graphically simple with its presentation, yet oddly enough has so much character when like the entire point of it is to like not have character. You can see that just with the backlash from Nintendo Switch Sports using the Sports Mates as their main mascot instead of the Miis. I mean, you can use Miis in the game, but as you can see on the box art, I mean, they're using the Sports Mates, not the Miis. So, like, these games have their own personality, even though fundamentally speaking, Nintendo Switch Sports has more of its own personality with its own avatars. But like still, like it just shows how much these games have sunk into our cold little hearts. And I just want to go over all of them and kind of rank them from my least favorite to favorite, which is kind of hard considering how deeply different so many of these games are. And where better to start than the bottom, which in my opinion is Wii Chess. Put your guns down. Yeah, in my opinion, this is the worst Wii series game, mainly because it's not really a Wii series game. It doesn't really have any of the makings of a Wii series game. It feels like a generic chess game that just, like, it's so basic that Nintendo was like, yeah, sure, we can call this Wii Chess. It doesn't use Miis in basic gameplay. I think if it does have Miis, the only place that you use Miis are like save file icons or your online rankings or whatever, but you don't use them in basic gameplay. You just might not even use them at all. I might just be spreading blatant misinformation. In that case, I am very, very sorry. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Wii Chess is pretty gross. It's a basic chess game. I mean, if you want a good chess game, yeah, it works, it's chess, but it doesn't even have like any other options. It doesn't have checkers. It doesn't have like a tutorial mode where, you know, you can learn chess. Chess is something that like most people are kind of like, oh damn, you know chess? And I feel like Wii Chess could have been a really cool way to kind of teach people how to play chess. But instead, it really is only here as an e-chess option. It doesn't use a damn pointer, you use the D-pad, which I feel like at least using the pointer of the Wii remote would have made it like, okay, well this kind of makes sense in the Wii series. No, it's just creepy. And this only ever released in Europe and in Japan as a WiiWare downloadable only title. Europe got this physical release. So it is just a very weird oddity. I always wanted it for that reason. And after playing it, I mean, I still love it, but you know, it's at the bottom of the list. I mean, like most people would have assumed the worst Wii series game is the next entry, but no, this is the worst one. It's not even that it's like a bad game, but it's just like, what the hell is this? Here it is. This is what most people would assume would be the worst one. Wii Music. This is the second to worst one in my opinion. It just always felt kind of directionless to me. It's more so a fun little noisemaker rather than a legitimate tool to kind of get you in the mood to make music. You know, it does kind of deliver on its initial promise, which was to kind of bring the joy of making music to everybody in the room, which pretty much just equates to shake the Wii remote and nunchuck and you feel like you're playing the flute. You know, I remember dicking around with this as a kid, and you know, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have some fun, but there's just not much of a game here. That's kind of the problem. This released during the rhythm game boom with Rock Band and Guitar Hero fighting off. Everybody wanted those games, and Wii Music came out right in the middle of that. So I feel like Nintendo wanted to just be different for the sake of being different rather than for the sake of being good. Like, it doesn't really feel like they had a genuine idea as to like, hey, this is how we're going to make the music genre better. This is how we're gonna innovate the music genre. Instead, it felt like they wanted to do a music game and they wanted to be different from Rock Band and Guitar Hero, so they went in this direction, but they didn't really know how to like make a really good game in this direction. They just decided to make this. Oftentimes it feels more like an application, just something to kind of make some wacky shit in, rather than like, hey, I want to play this song in Wii Music. You know, it feels like a noisemaker. That's what it was. And for what it is, it's a cute little distraction. You know, I owned it back in the day, and you know, I popped it in every now and then. It was cool to make your own little music videos and play songs, try to get them like correct by shaking to the beat, shaking correctly. And, it does have some game elements. I really like the conductor mode. That was fun to do. But a lot of that's just kind of fun in a novelty sense. It's not really fun from a game design point of view. But, the Wii series kind of defies that logic. It can also sometimes defy being fucking good. I have a soft spot in my heart for Wii music, but there's no denying it's one of the lesser of the Wii series games. Now, if me talking about Wii Sports Club doesn't really fit with the flow of the conversation, this is why. I forgot about it. Yeah, I had this in my pile, and I started talking about the next game, but I didn't realize that I kind of rank Wii Sports Club below the next game. So I didn't really think about it. So yeah, this goes into this place, but I'm actually talking about this after I've talked about the majority of the games because I just realized I forgot about Wii Sports Club. But yes, Wii Sports Club, it's a bit lower. It's not a bad game, but it's a damn low one. This is a remake of Wii Sports in HD with online multiplayer. It's just always felt like a very odd release to me. I definitely implemented a lot of the features seen in the initial reveal trailer for the Wii U gamepad. That showed a lot of sports from Wii Sports, or two, golf and baseball, using the Wii U gamepad in unique ways. So on the cover, you can see, pointing the Wii Remote on the gamepad on the floor, and you can see the golf ball there. And, oh man, it's like you can look down and see the ball. And then for baseball, you hold the gamepad up as like in the outfield, and you can catch the ball with the gamepad. The new control options with the Wii U gamepad are very pointless. They only implemented them in these two games, mainly because these were the only two games that showed Wii U gamepad implementation when the Wii U was first revealed. Like, in that reveal trailer, they only showed golf and baseball. Other than that, these other three games just use the Wii Remote as normal. Being in HD doesn't do a damn thing for these games. It's literally just the exact same game, but in HD. It looks a little nicer, but it also looks a little more muted. It looks a little more, like, depressing. And some of these games, like, I just don't really like how they control. They definitely technically control better because they use Wii Motion Plus. So, like, that's required now. So you have to use that to control, which makes it like a more fluid experience. But when I'm playing tennis in Wii Sports, I'm expecting it to control in a certain way. And when it doesn't, and it requires me to be much more precise with my controller, I have a panic attack. Like, this isn't right. This ain't how Wii Sports Tennis is supposed to control. So yeah, it doesn't feel right to me. It's not that it's bad, it doesn't feel right. It feels weird. This isn't a bad game by any means, but it just feels like one of the most, like, pointless remakes, just because, like, you're remaking Wii Sports? Wii U could already play Wii Sports via backwards compatibility, but what this game adds is online multiplayer. It was fine. I never played it that much. I played a little bit of bowling online, but I don't know. It's one of those games where I was like, oh, damn, online multiplayer, this is going to be great. And when I finally got it, I just didn't play it that much. Wii Sports is just something that I just feel like works better with local, like, it's more fun. And the original release method was just strange. It's called Club because they had a payment plan with this that was kind of supposed to mimic a country club kind of thing, where you could pay for a day. You could pay for a day of access of bowling for like $2. Or you could just pay for the sport outright for 10. Why wouldn't you do that? And they released the sports like apart from each other, where like bowling and tennis came out first, and then golf came out like a month or two later, and then boxing and baseball came out like 6 months later. Like, man, this was weird. And they eventually released this retail package in like July of 2014 for like $40. And this eventually became kind of hard to find. But yeah, this is definitely like, I like this. It's fine. But it definitely just feels a little lacking. Just Wii Sports again. They don't add any new sports. They don't add much to the current sports. They just remake it. And of course, you do get the online multiplayer HD graphics, but I just don't feel like they really make the game that much better. This is just kind of a very release. It's just a release I don't have much passion about, and that's why it goes near the bottom. And it just kind of feels like they put this in production as kind of like a last-ditch effort to make the Wii U work. To be like, oh man, let's put Wii Sports on it! You know, it's something where it's just like the casuals, they don't really care that this includes online multiplayer. They don't care that this is in HD. They already have Wii Sports. Why not make a new Wii Sports instead of just remake the Wii Sports they already own? Yeah, this is near the bottom. Man, does this even count? Technically speaking, Nintendo considers this to be a part of the, in quotes, Wii Sports series, Nintendo Switch Sports. This released in 2022. It took them long enough. It's great to see that Nintendo's bringing this series back. I don't want Nintendo to be all casual all the time, but kind of felt like they did a complete 180 when the Nintendo Switch launched, or, you know, around the Wii U generation, where they kind of just went from focusing on casuals, you know, 70%, 60% casuals, 30 to 40% hardcore gamers with the Wii and DS eras, then going a little more like 50-50, maybe 40-30% casuals with the Wii U and 3DS generations. And then Nintendo Switch, you know, that launched with 1-2 Switch, but after that, for a little bit, that was kind of the only major casual game Nintendo released. And it's not that I want them to do a bunch of those things, but I always like seeing what they make that everybody can enjoy, you know? I find those releases to have some of the most genuine Nintendo-esque design and Nintendo-esque ideas, where it just feels like they're that wacky toy maker from 1960s and 70s that they used to be, you know, just where they'd come up with all these random ideas, you know, like that's in a lot of their casual games, and I like seeing that. So it was great to see that with games like this and Ring Fit Adventure and Big Brain Academy, Brain vs. Brain, that they were definitely interested in bringing those types of releases over to their modern platforms. I really like that. The problem is Nintendo Switch Sports is just This game definitely suffers from that modern Nintendo phobia of kind of lacking content. The gameplay is pretty good. You know, this is a Wii Sports game in 2022. Motion control works pretty damn good across all of the sports included here. The problem is there's only 6. And one of them didn't come until damn winter 2022. And it was a game that was in Wii Sports, and Wii Sports Resort, and Wii Sports Club. How the hell does that take long to put out? The problem with this game is, like, it does like a complete 180 from how the original Wii Sports felt, where that didn't have online multiplayer, but, you know, it had enough in terms of the core gameplay to kind of keep you coming back, at least in 2006, you know? Back in those days, the Wii was like, oh my god, this is the hot new thing. And going into Wii Sports, you know, you wanted to play those little training games where, you know, that you have the 100 pin challenge, and you wanted to get better at bowling and boxing and golf, so then when your friends would come over, your family would come over, then you could beat them. It was a bit of a different time where, yeah, the lack of online multiplayer was definitely disappointing, but you didn't really need it back then. Now it's great to see that Nintendo Switch Sports focuses so heavily on online multiplayer. But that's all it basically does. Playing this game in single player, like there's nothing to do other than just play the sports. Okay, you're done playing the sport. All right, you're done. It's just like, you want to play that sport again, or do you want to play a different sport? That's basically all you can do. The only thing that kind of keeps you coming back in this game is just grinding playing online to get more costumes and avatar customization, which just feels kind of dumb. Like, it's like, why? Like, why do I have to grind for hours to get different hairstyle options? I feel like that's why they introduced these new avatars, which from a design perspective are perfectly fine, you know, like they're fine looking avatars, but the Miis, man. The Miis are like this perfect representation of simplistic design, just done right. It is like this perfect avatar creator, because many avatar creators go really far and they have too much customization where it's overwhelming and you just kind of want to get it over with. The Mii Maker is so damn simple, but has enough options where you can make pretty much any Mii kind of look like you, which is really impressive. Like, it has so few options, but those options feel like they analyzed them for like years to make sure, like, if they were gonna have 12 options, they had the only 12 options you could really possibly have for a mouth. These avatars are fine from like a design perspective, but they just feel like really generic, like Xbox avatars. They don't feel like they have as much of like that Nintendo charm, even though, you know, like they've grown on me. They're not bad. But the fact that they lock so many like actual avatar customization elements, like hairstyles and eyes, behind grinding in the online mode is just stupid. Like outfits and hats and all that stuff, fine. Yeah, sure, lock those behind those, but like actual customization to make your character look like you? Like I made my little sports maid at the beginning, but I only had like 3 damn hairstyles, so I had to pick the same, like this one that all the guys have. Like I'm like, come on, man! Like this doesn't look like me, and you know, it's fine, but you know, it just kind of feels like this game hasn't really evolved much past the original Wii Sports. It just feels like it's trying to do the bare minimum to give you a Wii Sports-esque experience on Nintendo Switch. And it does that. But in 2022, especially after, you know, we've gotten more Wii Sports games since the original. We got Wii Sports Resort, we got Wii Sports Club, and to have this follow up those, it just feels like it's really lacking in comparison. Because, like, there's only 6 sports. Wii Sports Resort had much more and many more modes included in each sport. And the sports included in this one just don't feel well-rounded. I've said this multiple times before, but, you know, you have tennis and badminton and volleyball. And like, yeah, these sports all play differently, but they're similar enough where it's just, it feels like half the damn game plays on like the same type of court, you know? Soccer is pretty fun, but it feels out of place. It doesn't really feel like something that I could give to my mom and she would understand how to play. It feels a little too video gamey rather than like Wii Series-esque, you know? It doesn't really feel like a Wii Series-esque take on soccer. It feels like a soccer mini game that would be in like a Mario Party mini game as a side mode or something. You know, it feels enough like a Wii Series game, but not as much as the other sports. And Chambara is fine, you know, it's pretty good. You know, it's a fine game, but in 2022, it's just lacking too much content. And it feels like it goes way too deep into like, oh, well, everybody's playing online multiplayer. Just play online multiplayer. That's the whole game. That's the entire game, just constantly playing online multiplayer. I would have loved like a challenge mode or something, where even just something where it's just like, hey, go for gold medal, go for platinum medal or something. I don't know, just it feels like a lot of games these days, at least like Nintendo's multiplayer titles, lack like the most basic incentives to keep you playing. Like I'm not looking for like a bunch of new content, just like just a different menu setup at the very least to kind of incentivize you to keep playing the single players or anything like that. It just like, this game doesn't have that. It just assumes that you're already addicted to the game before you play it. It's like, oh man, I can't wait to play online multiplayer for 10 hours straight. Like, oh, I can't wait to get that costume 10 hours in. I don't know. Like, I don't think this is a bad game at all, but I do feel like in 2022, I feel like we should expect a little more this late into the Nintendo Switch's launch. If this was like a launch year game, fine enough. And if Wii Sports didn't get any sequels past the original, again, sure. But we don't live in that timeline, you know? This works, but I think it's pretty lacking overall. Speaking of lacking, it's Wii Party U. Yeah, so I played a bit of this recently, and there's a lot of fun games in here. The problem is, a lot of them just don't really have a lot of staying power. This was developed by ND Cube, who did the first Wii Party and all the recent Mario Parties since Mario Party 9, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, Clubhouse Games, 51 Worldwide Classics. So yeah, this developer can definitely be kind of hit or miss with its multiplayer party games. The Wii Party series is generally some of their better efforts, and you know, the more modern Mario Parties they've been doing a better job at, and Clubhouse Games, 51 Worldwide Classics, mwah. But something I noticed that they do in so many of their titles is go for quantity over quality. They'd rather have like 40 modes in a game with like 5 minutes of content in each one. You know, it's something where it's like, wow, look at all these games, look at all these modes you can play in Wii Party U, and barely any of them have any staying power. It has a ton of ideas, especially ones that use the Wii U gamepad. There's a lot of fun little tabletop games where you're playing on the gamepad, specifically on like a little, you know, little coffee table, and yeah, you're using like the sticks on each side. It feels like something that you do on like the Nintendo Switch, but you know, done on the Wii U gamepad, which is really fun. And it has some more traditional party game modes and some cool gimmick modes, but a lot of them are just kind of like one and dones, you know, like you play them for a little bit and then you're like, all right, that was fun, but I'm never gonna go back to that. Feels very much like 1-2 Switch in some ways, even though this is much better than 1-2 Switch. But 1-2 Switch is kind of fun that first time you play it, but then after that, like I'm like, never again. And Wii Party U, I wouldn't go like that far, but it definitely does feel like that. You play it for one night with some friends, you find a couple like random little mini games and a random few modes that are really cool and kind of addict you for 30 minutes, but after that, like you kind of exhaust it. You know, a game like this and Wii Party just don't really have like a go-to mode, you know, a mode that's really like their own thing. These games have like a Mario Party-esque mode where you're rolling dice and going around a board, but that's kind of it. And those aren't really like Wii Party's like claim to fame. Those are just kind of the generic party game mode in these games. I think the main thing is these also don't really feel like Wii series games other than just using Mii's. They don't really have like a defined like, oh man, this is what they're here for. They're party games everybody can play. To some extent, yeah, but they're pretty much like very dumbed down versions of Mario Party. Where they still have like some elements of Mario Party, but it's pretty much just roll the dice, minigame. Roll the dice, minigame. Anyway, that's probably a lot easier for people to understand than Mario Party, because Mario Party, while it's very simple and very easy to understand, you know, hey, it can be kind of tricky for, you know, non-gamers to understand, like, all right, what do these stars do? What do these coins do? What do these items do? Like, Mario Party is very simple, but could be potentially a little more complex or overwhelming to newcomers. Wii Party U and Wii Party aren't like that for their standard little party minigame island modes, but they're really boring. And when these games get kind of more interesting with cooler ideas, yeah, like they don't last. So in addition, I proclaim that the original Wii Party kind of fits alongside that. I might put it above Wii Party U just because I felt like some of the things that this did with the Wii remotes were a little less convoluted and also had a little more staying power. I really love the minigame in this one where you hide the Wii remote in the room somewhere and it'll play noises from the speaker and people have to walk around the room and try to find it based on the noise. I absolutely adore that idea. I think that is awesome. And I feel like this is something that everybody can enjoy, whereas Wii Party U gets a little more complicated and, like I said, a little more convoluted with the Wii U gamepad being used. This one has very simple minigames, but, you know, they're simple fun, and I think this kind of fits the Wii series a little more than U does. But I'm just kind of talking out of my ass here. Honestly, like, the Wii Party series can be a little forgettable to me. It's something where, like, when I start playing, I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember this stuff. But, you know, it's just not something that really sticks to me other than some very specific games, like, you know, like the noise one in the room and all of that. But other than that, like, these are just kind of basic party games that do their job. They're fun. But they don't really get their hooks in me. But oh man, this had its hooks in me back in the day. Wii Fit, the original. Why is this a little lower? Well, you know, Wii Fit was followed up by Wii Fit Plus, which is the exact same game but better. So, you know, like I'll just put that one a little higher. But yeah, the original Wii Fit was like a phenomenon. This was so damn cool with the Wii balance board and all the mini games you could play with this. But that's why it's a little lower. I mainly only liked it for the mini games. Everything outside of that, a little boring. Like, it doesn't really gamify yoga or strength training. It just makes you do it. And I felt like the original Wii Fit just doesn't really do a great job with letting you customize your workouts or having games that actually, like, really make you sweat. Like, I remember the soccer ball minigame using the balance board. That was a ton of fun. I don't know what that's doing for me. Like, it's helping me balance, I guess, but it's just like, you know, like, how is this keeping me fit? Which future entries definitely have much more sweat-inducing mini games that I think really do help you stay fit, which, you know, it fits with the title. But yeah, I felt like the original Wii Fit was a good basis for something, but was definitely improved upon significantly by its follow-ups, because as this one stands, it feels very hollow compared to Plus and U. It feels like a game that just wasn't really like fully fleshed out. It just kind of feels like it has some activities for you to do, and it just kind of expects you to want to do them. Where exercise is hard, man. You know, it's hard to be incentivized. It's hard to really feel motivated to do this stuff. And yeah, the mini games in here really do motivate you because they're fun. but the mini games aren't really where you get your get your calories burned, you know, other than like jogging. But you know, you want to use the mini games that use the balance board, and the ones that use the balance board, like they just kind of use the balance board. I don't really think they do much fit wise. So yeah, this one is so low just because it was definitely improved upon, and the original release is definitely a little basic. Now this next entry, this I had to think about a little bit. What do I like better, Wii Play or Wii Play Motion? And Wii Play Motion has more games and more significant games. Like it feels a lot more just well fleshed out. It feels like each game just has more to it. But if I had to pick between playing Wii Play or Wii Play Motion, I might go with Wii Play. I don't know, man. I mean, that game is so simple, but has such basic fun in it. I don't know. I really like Wii Play Motion. I think Wii Play Motion is severely underrated because it uses the Wii Motion Plus. A lot of these games are just a lot more complicated and get a little more fidgety than the games in Wii Play. Wii Play just used the Wii Remote's pointer, you know? Like, it was just really simple to just go in there and play some fishing. But nowadays, the main thing I'd want to play in that game is damn Wii Play Tanks. Oh, mama! And in this game, they had the audacity to not do a sequel to Wii Play Tanks. Instead, they did a damn sequel to Pose Me. It's like, damn, Nintendo, I didn't know you were working for the Lord of Darkness himself. And it's probably completely nostalgia. It's probably completely nostalgia that I'm putting Wii Play above Wii Play Motion. But, you know, hey, I played this back in the day. I played this when I was younger. I played this when it was brand new. And I just remember more about Wii Play. I want to play Wii Play more than I do want to play Wii Play Motion, because a lot of these games, I feel like they came out too late in the Wii's lifespan. So doing these cute little mini games, you know, in 2011, it was too little too late. It was great to see that Nintendo wanted to put out a little minigame collection showing the value of Wii Motion Plus. But again, like, it's just like in 2011, like, did we really need that? I'd say we didn't. And as much as I respect Wii Play Motion, I think this is a great little minigame collection. If I had to choose between Wii Play and Wii Play Motion, like, the memories I have associated with Wii Play, as basic as it is, I feel like it just delivers on that simple pick up and play fun a little more than Wii Play Motion does. Using that Wii Motion Plus, it does make it a bit more of a hassle to like pick up and play, because you know you have to calibrate the remotes, and there's more that can go wrong, and these mini games are a lot more forgettable, frankly. Good game. I do like this quite a bit, but hey, like something had to go below Wii Play, and it just so happened to be a better game. As Wii Play, you know, hey, this is not the most amazing collection, but it has some standouts, and I found some genuine fun in every game included here. As simple as they are, like, these games can be really addictive, kind of in like an old school Flash game mentality. Like, a lot of these games, I kind of have a similar like lust to play as I do like an old school game on coolmathgames.com. You know, like, oh damn, Pose Me, is that really great? No, but still, hey, damn dude, Pose Me. These are fun little high score based games, and they're so simple that I genuinely like them. It kind of just gets it down to like the core of like why some games are fun. And you could do that very easily in 2007, which is, you know, like, hey, Nintendo Switch Sports has some fun games, but at least in 2022, man. At least these games have damn medals to get in them. Tanks, amazing. Charge, I loved that as a kid. Now it's kind of like, what the hell is this? Fishing, it's probably the worst one of the bunch, but Shooting Gallery was fun to go for high scores in. Ping Pong Rally, that's addictive to go for. Laser Hockey, these are very simple games, but they're so simple that everybody can pick them up and enjoy them. And I think that's kind of the difference between like games that are kind of lacking content nowadays compared to these games, which you could say the same thing, you know, no online multiplayer or leaderboards or what have you, but keep in mind, this came bundled with a Wii Remote, so it was $50. Wii Remotes on its own were $40, so this was a $10 game, and for $10, I don't know, man, this is pretty sweet. I think this can get away with the simplicity. You know, hey, only 9 mini games and they're all pretty basic, but They have a genuine kind of addictive little nature to them. It's fun to play that with your non-gaming friends and family, and even your gaming friends and family. I think everybody can find at least something they really enjoy in this package. And everybody has like at least some kind of small little memory with Wii Play. This was something that I still played a decent amount back in the day. And I remember every mini game in this very well, and how it controlled and all of that. And I can't really say that about Wii Play Motion. So while it is a better overall game, that's why I'm putting Wii Play ahead of it. Next up is Wii Fit Plus. It's Wii Fit. There's not much to say about this one other than it's Wii Fit, but with a lot more features that just kind of make it a much more well-rounded experience. There's a lot of cool mini games they added here. There's a lot of great new activities. Custom routines. You can make your own routine in this game, and you can set it up so then you can actually have a basic workout. You can also weigh your pets. Weigh a damn baby, won't ya? Yeah, there's not much to say about Wii Fit Plus other than like this is the definitive Wii Fit experience. It's not like a sequel to Wii Fit. It's just a Wii Fit, but better. Next up, the original Wii Sports. Now, technically speaking, I don't really think this is better, content-wise or graphically or whatever, gameplay-wise, blah, than a lot of the other games I've already talked about. But this game is so damn important and has such amazing replay value with being so simple and basic that it has to be at the top. This game changed everything. It is so damn basic. Like, all these games are beyond simple, but that is the beauty of it all. It is so simple to perfection. Like, everybody understands this game. Everybody can pick up and play it. The sports they chose, perfect. You don't have to do a tutorial for any of these sports. You don't have to explain any of them. And they all work perfectly with the Wii remote. And yeah, this game may be lacking in content. It's basically just the few sports and not much else. A couple of training modes, but it doesn't need much else. These games are fun on their own. It's crazy impressive how much you can get out of just the sheer simplicity of Wii Sports. But Nintendo did it. I don't know much what else there is to say. All of these sports were awesome. Some were definitely better than others. I do think overall, like, bowling, obviously the best. I really liked golf. Tennis, I think, follows up. And baseball and boxing were definitely some of the lower ones. Boxing was amazing back in the day. That was such a fun time as a kid. But now playing it, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, I don't know about this one, man. But yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about this one other than it's Wii Sports, damn it. Like, this may be a bit of a shocker, but in second place, I got Wii Fit U. I mean, this game rocks. This game is the definitive Wii Fit experience. It is amazing what they did with this game. This game has everything the original Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus were lacking. The games are awesome in this. They're legitimately fun, and they also, like, you can tell what they are doing to you. Like they really help you. They feel like exercise, and they're also fun. Where the original Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus games feel a little more fun than exercise. The exercise routines in this game are great. This one has so much more data to involve, including the Wii Fit U meter. It's a little pedometer you hook on. It just has like some real world application to it. And it's a very damn accurate pedometer. They just did so much more in Wii Fit U to just make it like not only a much more fun game, but a much better exercise workout tool, and also just something to make exercise and working out fun. Again, I don't know what else there is to really say about it other than this is like the definitive Wii Fit experience. They hit it out of the park with this one. But not as much as the best Wii series game, Wii Sports Resort. This one just includes everything I think you want in a Wii series game. It's simple, it's fun to pick up and play. All the games are beyond memorable, and they all have so much replay value, not only in their basic forms, but also in like side modes. Each game has like a bunch of side modes that you can play. There's so much more to do in this game than the original Wii Sports, where that game was so simple and had so much replay value with just all of the sports just based on the core gameplay. This one has that, and then in addition, you can do a bunch of other stuff too. I know I said how the Wii Motion Plus kind of brought Wii Play Motion down in terms of the pick up and play aspect, you know, having to calibrate it all the time. Yeah, you know, you have to calibrate it here, but I feel like all of these games just have a lot more staying power than all the Wii Play Motion games, you know? Like, these games are all so much more fun to just keep playing over and over and over again. And there's also 2 games from Wii Sports, like bowling and golf, that have been slightly enhanced with Wii Motion Plus. And golf includes an extra course. You know, it kind of makes the original Wii Sports, in some regards, a little worthless. But I still always have memories on how Wii Sports originally controlled without Wii Motion Plus, so, you know, I always like going back to how it felt in that game, you know, shitty. But this game not only has amazing gameplay, but an incredible world to explore. Woohoo Island in this game is amazing. Exploring it via the island flyover mode is just so damn relaxing. It is so cool to just find all the little Easter eggs and nooks and crannies in this island, you know, and it's crazy to see because, you know, like how generic all of these Wii series games instantly feel, you know, it's like, oh man, this just looks like a basic, this looks like they forgot to add the graphics, but then you actually play and this is just so simple but beautiful in some ways. You know, it may be super basic, but that's kind of the beauty of it. And that's why Wii Sports Resort is the best Wii series game. Only if we're not including this.